Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and today I'm back with another lore video. As we covered in the previous one that I did for the beginning of this season, Year 7 Season 1, I'll link it down below in case you missed it. This season is set to deliver some real intel, right? Some long-awaited answers, and that trend has continued in the last drops and weeks since I talked about that. Now I don't quite have the bandwidth or desire really to make a breakdown on these things each and every week, but I do like to do these periodic roundups when we do get these drops that have some real significant information. And in this video I want to dive into two of the newer Manhunt comms that we've gotten that get into some of the logistics behind the Rogue Resistance's plans, as well as pulling back the veil a bit on our enemies' depravity. So some good stuff. Again, I'm really liking the direction that this is all going. I'm liking that this season is giving us some real answers. So we'll get straight to it. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see further breakdowns like this or everything else that I talk about on the Division 2, then I hope you will consider clicking that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Additionally, I have to give a shout out and thank you to our channel members. Your ongoing support is beyond appreciated. It allows me to continue making these videos. But without further ado, let's get straight to this. Alright, so there are two comms that I want to specifically focus in on in this video. One is the latest drop from this week. It has some great details and illuminations. But before that, we need to go back to the comm that dropped just after the last lore video that I made. It is likely the most pivotal one that we've gotten so far this season, as it describes exactly what's going on, what we need to win this ongoing war that we're in. So, let's take a look.
Agent, I need to debrief with Schaeffer. Kelso had to go.
Oops, sorry, wrong file. No, not that one. What am I looking for? Right here. Here you go.
If you want to take down the network for good, you need Claire, the football, and the presidential clearance. You have those three things, you're golden.
We don't have any of those things.
You have the clearance.
I'm not the president.
You don't have to be the president, Manny.
How do you have presidential clearance without being the president?
Jesus, did you even ask Kelso what the Cassandra mission was before you let her go?
I thought it was waking you up.
I'm the key to the Black Tusk bunker, not the Ortiz robotics network. If they finished her mission and Alice is dead, she got him to transfer the clearance to her.
The watch? Phase watch is the clearance.
Thank you for finally joining the conversation, Manny.
Kelso has it. She's gone. Said it wasn't safe here. Put a bigger target on her back as she needed to keep moving and stay dark to protect us.
Hope she told you that in a comms-free space.
She did. Insisted no tech, Wi-Fi killers, EMPs. Didn't want to be recorded just in case.
Smart. She's smart. Guess you can revoke a girl's CIA clearance, but you can't revoke her training.
Alright, so there is a lot to digest here. Firstly, rightly so, many people were not cutting Manny much slack for not catching on to what Bardon was suggesting here. That whole thing was pretty amusing. It wouldn't shock me if it was written that way to basically just give the audience a third grader level explanation as for what is happening for those who are less lore inclined, which still makes it funny either way you look at it. But we covered the whole timeline and significance of Faye having the presidential clearance, how that played into Vanguard's finale at the Stranded Tanker, a lot of stuff in my video recapping last season's conclusion. Again, I'll link that below in case you want to check it out, but it was good to see that all fully cleared up here. And the biggest thing is that after all of these seasons of chasing different MacGuffins and characters and whatever, going back and forth, this just plainly explained what tools we need to take on Natalia, Cal, the Black Tusk, and the Hunters. And that comes down to three things. Claire Ortiz, who built the entire interconnected Isaac, Anna, and Diamond network. We need the football, which to my understanding is the physical object that controls the US nuclear arsenal. It is only usable and activatable via the presidential clearance. And then that said presidential clearance, which is the one item that we do have, and it's with Kelso on her watch. It feels good to finally have all of this info confirmed, laid out like this. So again, we have the clearance. As for the whereabouts of the football, we really have no idea, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think I am, but this will probably be revealed to us over time. The last item is then Claire Ortiz. Now her location and whereabouts is a big question that I've been asking for quite a while. Her and Alex, who is her husband, were very prominent in the lore and background for many seasons. They were featured in a ton of Descent comms, but kind of for a while now, they've just mostly disappeared. My personal theory is that Nat has them stowed safe away in one of these Black Tusk bunkers, and that is maybe one of or the main reason why we need Bardon to help us breach it and extract them. We'll see what we learn. I could be totally wrong, but when and if we do get Claire on our side, that's going to be pretty big. She has a big hatred for Natalia, and again, she is the one who built all of these systems systems, she could probably take the whole thing crashing down. And then at the end of the comm, we get Manny expanding more upon his Kelso is gone line. Makes enough sense, the explanation, that she'd want to keep moving, given the significance of what she has on her. The only thing I found kind of amusing is that they emphasize how much effort went into them not being spied on. Him and Kelso talked in an EMP-proofed room. There were no recordings, any of that, except now he's just repeated all of that information to Bardon in a room without those safeguards and recording it. So probably just one of those don't look too far into it moments, but I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, that was the first comm that I wanted to look at, maybe the most important one of the season so far. The other one that I want to look at, though, is the drop that we got this week. It packs less of a punch in these kind of huge reveals, but it does still highlight some key details. Here it is.
You got an echo from White Oak?
Yeah, but the audio is missing. Glasses did too good of a job scrubbing the data. Anna could only reconstruct the transcript.
Faye got the clearance.
She did. He gave it willingly and asked her to kill him so he couldn't take it back.
Huh.
What?
Nothing, just... Never thought Chicken Hawk would be the one to surprise me. Sounds like he finally grew a spine at the end. I hate that guy, but you gotta respect someone who takes responsibility for the mess they've made and tries to do the right thing.
We talking about the same Ellis?
Speaker of the House, the chaser of power who made a deal with the devil.
Nat is not the devil.
You know the greatest trick the devil ever played?
Capitalism?
Lucifer is a fallen angel, God's favorite son. Nat, she didn't wait for her father to replace her. She took his kingdom before he could banish her.
Felix.
Yeah, where is he?
She tricked us into killing him and Bridget Douglas before we went after Faye.
Oh. You still sure she's not the devil?
She's not the devil. She's a traitor. And traitors can be held accountable or killed.
Alright, so this sees Manny and Schaeffer discussing the echo that we found and pieced together at Roosevelt Island in last season's climax mission. The discussion of Ellis is pretty amusing. I like the Chicken Hawk reference. That's great. The original version of Camp White Oak, where we first heard that, has legendary dialogue. Love that mission. But they then get into the discussion of whether or not Nat is the devil. Some very interesting analogies used, I thought, in Bardon talking about her ensuring her ascension, right? Basically usurping her father and lineage before they could cast her out. And the comments made about Felix and Viper were definitely neat to see. It's nothing we didn't already know. I believe there were even full-on comms that we've gotten before with maybe Mac talking to somebody about how it was likely that Nat sent Felix in to die. That's just how cold she is. But I thought the context given here of when and where is pretty interesting, because now that I think about it, I'd have to go and look, but I recall that there were comms from that season, End of Watch, where some of the targets that we hunted down were talking to each other and saying, why did we get assigned to this? This kind of random security job seems pretty mundane. At the time, I think that was before they knew that they were trying to move around and keep the president safe. But in retrospect, to think that Nat knew we were coming, she set Felix up, she knew Viper was a traitor, I guess, and sent her up too. I mean, that is some like 5D chess level stuff, right? That was before we even knew half of what we know now. My only question from that, though, is if Nat knew all of that, did she not also suspect Faye? Or furthermore, did she know that we were coming for the president? If she did, why would she not make more moves to prevent that, or prevent Faye from killing him and taking the clearance? Did she in fact possibly want all of those events to happen and to lead to where we are right now? I suppose that's just kind of the state of the narrative where we're at right now. Sometimes we don't know if we are laying a trap, walking into one, or finding out stuff that other characters knew like 5 seasons ago. But, I'd lie if I didn't say it wasn't entertaining. Again, I like the direction and straightforwardness that this season is bringing, but that's just about all I wanted to go over. I'm very interested to see what we learn moving forward. My friends, that is all I have for you in today's rundown. Again, I wanted to continue breaking down these ongoing lore drops. I like to make these videos whenever I'm, invested in a season story, as I am right now. Schaeffer's back. It feels good, man. But I now turn it all over to you. I would love to hear your thoughts on both these comps specifically, as well as your overall thoughts on the season, your theories about where it's going. One big question that I certainly have is, when do you think we're going to learn about the prime target for the season? So far, we're just seeing Schaeffer and Manny have these discussions, which is great, but there's this prime target, apparently strategist, that we talked about in the last video that we're going to be going after in like 5-6 weeks here. When do we get to learn more about them? Whatever you're thinking, as always, let me know down below. Can't wait to read through it. That's going to do it for me today, though. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold out.